I know that it can be difficult to get to know a candidate in a relatively short period of time. That's the case in all situations, but it's exacerbated by the current situation where so many of our regular in-person interactions are being replaced by the online equivalent. Given that, I wanted to take a few moments and introduce myself and give you some insight as to why I wanted to work for your company. Hello, this is Matthew Laughlin. There are several things that caught my eye about this particular sales training role. The most important one pertains to the idea of reinforcement. No matter how good you are at creating workshops or writing documentation, in the real world, even smart, motivated people will start to forget that information almost as soon as they walk outside the conference room. However, in the rare opportunity that you get a chance to ride along with people, then you can continue providing important reminders and key information immediately following an actual sales call. That allows you to take a training program and go far beyond what you would be able to do if you only saw people during workshops or only heard from them during webinars. Secondly, it allows you to customize the information to fit the needs of one particular rep who's in a particular situation at a certain experience level. It allows you to customize things to fit very specific situations that you only run into in the field. That's very attractive to me. And most importantly, it gives me, the sales trainer, a much better idea of how effective the training program really is, what's working and what isn't, and it allows me to make absolutely certain that the training program is indeed improving the bottom line. I spent a few minutes talking about why I'm interested in the role, but obviously it's more important for you to know what I can bring to the table and how that may be any different than other candidates that might be involved. I will say that my background contains a combination of 4 items that I don't find very often with candidates. Number one, I do have direct experience working in the field, carrying a quota, selling high-ticket items, and specifically medical equipment. I started my career by working for Alcon Labs. At that point, I was selling a software application that runs a medical practice, handles billing, scheduling, and medical records. Also, we worked very closely with the other Alcon reps that were responsible for selling the equipment for cataract surgery or laser eye surgery. In many cases, we would put together a joint deal that involved my products and their products at the same time. I've also spent a number of years working for Pentax Medical. Pentax is the second largest provider of equipment used for gastroenterology procedures. The largest provider is actually Olympus, the other Japanese camera company. I can see how having direct experience in the field would be essential for this role. You can't really coach someone effectively unless you face some of those very same challenges and come up with your own solutions and have your own deep experience to draw upon. So I feel very fortunate that I can bring that to the table in this instance. The second thing that I can bring to the table is a great deal of training experience. That's important because, to be honest, good salespeople are not always good coaches. And even fewer of them are capable of putting together a training program or have much interest in doing so. To some degree, it makes sense because getting someone to make a decision, what salespeople normally do, is very different than teaching someone a new skill, or more importantly, getting them to change their behavior, what trainers do. I'm proud to say that for the last 11 years, I've focused exclusively on sales training and sales operations. When people ask me the difference, my short answer is always training, teaching a skill, or getting people to change their behavior. Sales operations, getting people the information they need to do their jobs faster and easier. If you're really going to make a difference in an organization or get the results that you need, I think it requires an appropriate experience and the skill set in both of those areas. During this 11-year period, I've worked as an independent consultant part of the time. I've also worked for a Fortune 500 company part of the time. In the latter role, I managed a team of 10 trainers. 8 of them were based in the field and focused exclusively on field training. and then the other 2 taught workshops to new sales personnel. I think it's important to know with any candidate, not only how long they've done something, but whether or not they've gotten results. I can point to several things in my career, but the 2 primary ones that come to mind is in 2017, I led a team that won a silver medal in a competition called the Brandon Hall Human Capital Excellence Awards. We won in the category of Best Change Management Initiative. That particular program happened to be a brand new commission program that we rolled out to every salesperson in the company. That commission plan emphasized team selling for the first time in the company's history, and it represented a dramatic cultural change for those particular sales personnel. In 2018, I wanted to improve my abilities as a presenter and speaker, so I pursued and obtained the Master Trainer certification put out by the Association of Talent Development, or ATD. The third thing that I bring to the table is a wide range of technical skills. When I moved into sales training several years ago, I put a lot of thought into where I could have the greatest impact. And I realized that giving powerful presentations or simply knowing how to run a meeting is not enough. For example, a lot of success in the field simply revolves around being able to move fast enough to deal with the vast flood of information that all of us work with, or being able to locate crucial insights about your customers without having to dig for that info, or calling the right people at the right time, managing the pipeline, in other words. I realized that if I could affect those areas, that by itself would have a tremendous impact on most reps' numbers. As a result, I put a lot of effort into helping companies or individual reps utilize their CRM system as effectively as possible. I realized, however, that simply being a CRM expert wasn't good enough either, since training deals so much with finding unique and powerful ways to reach a variety of audiences. There's a number of presentation and business tools involved as well. As an example, I used PowerPoint and the Camtasia video editor to put together this presentation. Hopefully it serves as confirmation that I have at least a basic comfort level with those types of applications. I know that deep experience with lab equipment and services is an important part of this role, and obviously I've never worked for Meridian or any direct competitors. However, I wanted to take a moment and tell you about the lab experience that I do have. While working for a company called Our Lab, I helped them enter the gastroenterology market for the first time and taught the reps how to sell to that clinical specialty. Our Lab stands for Oppenheimer Urology Reference Laboratory. They were actually the second largest urology-specific lab in the country at one time. Also, while working for Pentex, we would partner with reps from several different lab companies quite commonly during the sales process. We did so because importing and analyzing lab results was a big part of that endoscopy product. I know that no matter what, I would have an awful lot to learn about the company and the mix of products if you decide to bring me on board. And I would certainly make that the highest priority in the early stages of the role. I hope that you enjoyed this series of clips, and I hope they were beneficial to you. I certainly look forward to finding out more about this particular role and meeting other key people from Meridian. Thank you.